So bring from all the parts of Egypt the best magicians, best sorcerers, and let's face his magic with magic. And Fir'aun was pleased with the idea. And it would be a fun idea too. So he said to Musa alayhi salam, do you agree to have a match against my sorcerers, my magicians? And he said, yes. And he said, what day and what time? He said, let us meet in the day of the festival. Egypt has a festival day where everyone would go outside the city into a certain area and they would play and enjoy themselves and have matches, etc. And let the match start in the morning, sometime in the morning. And they agreed and set the match time, and the news was spread all over Egypt. And on the day of the festival, everyone was assembling. People were calling each other, are you going to the assembly? Are you going to the festival? That we may follow the sorcerers if they are the winners. Nobody is talking about Musa. They know sorcerers, magicians, they know their amazing acts, and they know that Egypt has the greatest magic on earth. Now, by the way, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when sending messengers, He would choose to send the miracle with any messenger with the best ability that his people would have. For example, we see that the people of Egypt were so strong on magic, so He sent them signs that would destroy magic. The people at the time of Jesus were the best in medicine, so He sent Jesus alayhi salam, peace be upon him, with signs that would face magic, curing the ill, raising the death. This is not the ability of ordinary people, it's only miracles. And Muhammad was sent with words, with the Quran, because the Arabs were so proud of their language, and nobody on earth, not at that time, not today, would be more eloquent with language and poetry, etc., more than the Arabs. And they were so proud, and they are still today, more proud of anyone on earth about their language. So He faces them with language. So, because the people of Egypt had the best sorcerers and magicians on earth, He would face them with that. And nobody expected at all that Musa alayhi salam could come out as a winner, because no magician who ever visits Egypt has no value, because Egypt has the best magicians. So people were calling each other, let's gather and see how Musa will be humiliated and the sorcerers will be the winners. So everyone gathered. And on that agreed day, when everyone was there and everyone was confident that the magicians would win and everyone would follow the religion of the king and the magicians, Musa alayhi salam was ready and he was calm with the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now the senior magicians came and they met with Pharaoh himself. And they said, oh, great Pharaoh, are you going to reward us when we win? Will there surely be a reward for us if we are the winners? And this is in the Quran. And Pharaoh said, yes, and you shall be brought near to me. You'll be my closest friends. He's using this opportunity not only to overcome Musa alayhi salam, but also to show his ability among the people, his powers. If these magicians show the people their powers, then it is his power. He will control everyone. I can, with witchcraft, control anyone. So he wanted this, and this will give him influence and power. So these magicians were clearly motivated, not by religion or belief, but by a reward and the status being next to Pharaoh, one of the greatest kings on earth. This is narrated in detail in the chapter of Taha. He said, Pharaoh said to Musa, have you come to drive the people of Israel out of our land with your magic, O Musa? We can surely produce magic that would match yours. So let's make a match between us and you, which you will not fail to attend. Choose the time and place. Musa said, your match is on the day of the festival, and let the people assemble when the sun is well up in the morning. So Pharaoh withdrew his plan, his plot, got his magicians together, and they faced Musa alayhi salam. Musa said to them and to Pharaoh, woe to you, forget not that Allah is Lord, and forge not lies against him, otherwise he will destroy you completely. And surely whoever invents lies against Allah, God himself, will fail miserably. Now he's threatening Musa. Musa is threatening Pharaoh, but he's directing his words to the magicians. And everyone was hearing the threats of Musa against these magicians, and they were surprised. Who can threaten these magicians? But Musa alayhi salam knew that he has miracles with him. Now, these magicians, although they were brought up from their childhood, chosen and trained as magicians, forced into magic by Pharaoh himself. Pharaoh would choose the most clever children and send them to magic schools. Greatest magicians would teach them. And they were raised to love Pharaoh, to worship Pharaoh, to obey Pharaoh, and they were raised as magicians. But because these people were in schools learning something amazing, they were also told about prophets and the miracles of prophets. And these miracles that they have heard about, magic could not explain. Their teachers were telling them there were miracles that looked like magic. We cannot explain them to you. So we can teach you only magic. So they heard about the previous prophets. They heard about God, but they never faced that directly. Now, for the first time, somebody is saying to them, I'm a messenger from the Almighty Lord, and I am not bringing magic, I am bringing miracles. So with these threats of Musa and Harun alayhi salam, they asked Pharaoh to excuse them into a private meeting. Now everyone was watching, nobody can listen. Musa was watching, Pharaoh was watching, the people were watching, and these magicians, by the way, some scholars say there were 40 of them, gathered together, whispering to each other, discussing the matter. So they disputed, should we continue with the match or not? This is mentioned in the Quran. Why would they fear? They said, if these are truly messengers of God, our magic would not do anything against them. And we will anger God himself, and we will be destroyed. These are the stories that we have heard about the previous messengers. So, should we face Musa or not? So they argued. Some of them, let's face him, and some of them, they might be real prophets, real messengers, we will be destroyed. This is all in the Quran. And then they decided, we cannot run away now. We have to go on with the challenge. And they also remembered the promises of wealth and status that will be given by Pharaoh to them. So they decided to set their fears aside. How could these people be prophets? It's almost impossible. We have not seen prophets for years and years. No, haven't heard about prophets for years and years. So most probably these are liars. So let's face them. So after a long discussion and dispute and disagreement among them, they decided to come out as one line. And they agreed on one decision. An awesome scene happened later on. They also described in the Quran. They came out of their discussion, one line, one row, moving together towards Musa alayhi salam. Just imagine with me the scene. 40 magicians with their ropes and sticks in their hands and other tricks, moving together next to each other, going into the direction of Musa. And everyone was silent. The match is going to start. Musa alayhi salam was standing, Harun was standing behind him, and total silence. They came slowly walking as a line, and they shouted arrogantly, echoing Fir'aun's accusation against Musa and Harun. They said loudly, their leader shouting, people can hear, these two are certainly expert magicians. Their object is to drive the children of Israel outside from this land with their magic and do away with our system. It was like a battle. Magicians stood in their line. The leader shouted at Musa alayhi salam, "Oh Musa, will you throw first, or do you want us to be the first that throw?" It is a custom among magicians to throw things. So Musa alayhi salam, guided by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, said to them, "Verily, you throw first." And they took their ropes, they took their sticks and rods and threw them onto the ground. And an amazing scene happened in front of everyone. This is mentioned in the Quran. Behold, the ropes and the rods seemed to him, to Musa alayhi salam, and to everyone, that they were live and moving. Now, I'd like to stop here and say one thing. See, the Quran said very clearly that they made the eyes of those attending, including Musa, see things that are unreal, which means magic is not real. It is only a distortion of what we see. Magicians use their abilities and quick hands or some tricks in witchcraft that would make people imagine things. Magic is not real. I'm saying this because unfortunately there are thousands and thousands of Muslims who believe in witchcraft so much that they believe it can hurt them, it can benefit them, and they go to these people who will heal them, etc. It's all nonsense. It is not real. This is in the Quran. They made the eyes of those who see, including Musa, see things that were not real. Al-Imam Abu Hanifa, one of the greatest scholars of Islam, says very clearly, magic is not real. You just see things. So don't be afraid of it. Now Musa alayhi salam himself was affected. He sees things moving. What is this? And he feared. He had fear inside him. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told him, "Oh Musa, do not fear. You shall come out victorious." In another verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes this. So when they threw, they bewitched the eyes of the people and struck terror into the people, and they showed great magic, one of the greatest magics that ever happened. So people were totally terrified. So many apparent snakes moving. Musa alayhi salam himself was taken by fear. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, and Musa conceived in his own mind fear. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala calmed him and stated clearly that he would come victorious. and commanded him, throw what is in your hand. This is in the Quran. We, Allah, when he wants to glorify himself, he would use plural, we. This is known in Arabic. He said, Allah said, fear not, surely you will have the upper hand. Throw what which is in your right hand. Quickly, it would turn into a snake and it would swallow up these fake things that are moving. What they have done is only fake, and what magicians have will not survive. And glory to Allah. What a scene it must have been. Musa's rod becoming a huge snake and simply gobbling and swallowing the false snakes of these magicians. And Musa alayhi salam have defeated the magicians without any doubt in front of everyone. Now the magicians know that they were tricking the eyes of the people, but this is no trick.